Hi guys, and welcome back to Dave's Game Room. Just thought I'd do a pickups video. I've not done one for a little while, and in actual fact this is going to be a couple of months worth of pickups. So yeah, I've gone a bit overboard again, as I do sometimes. Not to the point where obviously I'm spending too much money, but you know how it goes. So yeah, let's go through some of my pickups for what is essentially the end of September, October and most of November. So I picked up 4 Japanese Mega Drive games. So I've got Super Monaco GP, the first one. I've got this really strange F1 game, which is actually quite crap, I think, to be perfectly honest, to be blunt about it. Ayrton Senna's Super Monaco GP2, which I've already got on the European Mega Drive, but it was in a pack of 4, a job lot of 4 games. And Virtua Racing. Unfortunately, there's something wrong with this cart, and I've already had a refund on this one. The guy on eBay was nice enough to refund me. I think it's probably the Virtua processor chip that's inside this cartridge is dead, because you can hear the music from the intro playing, but you get no graphics. Essentially, I picked up those Japanese Mega Drive games to test the Model 1 Mega Drive and the Model 2 Mega Drive, the 2 Japanese ones that were listed as faulty that I picked up, really cheaply, I must add. As I say, all these games except for this one worked on both machines, so that's pretty good going. So, normal European Mega Drive pickups. I went to a new game shop, actually, called Everyday Games. It's down in Filton. My good friend Rob Lewis recommended it to me. He's a mate of mine. We've been mates for a long time now. And he recommended Everyday Games. He actually found it on Facebook, I think it was. So I've been there a few times, and I've picked up some games from there. This is Strider, which most of you guys have probably seen recently re-released on the PS4, on PSN. This game is fantastic. It's just a hack and slash kind of platformer style game. It's really good fun. It's one that I really have enjoyed playing. It's one I didn't actually play as a youngster, but I'm certainly playing it now. It's brilliant. Streets of Rage 2, this is an absolute classic. I don't really need to say too much about it. You guys have probably played a Streets of Rage game before, but this one's awesome. So, Streets of Rage 2. I've got Speedball 2, because this is a fun sort of futuristic sci-fi sort of sports game, a ball game. It's actually quite good fun. I actually played this on the Mega Drive back in the day, and also on the Amiga. Picked up Urban Strike. You guys may remember the series of games that were released, Desert Strike, Jungle Strike, and of course this one, Urban Strike. Quite like this game. It's all good fun. It's a basically attack helicopter style game. I really like this and thoroughly recommend it. Moonwalker for the Mega Drive. Now, you might have seen the Dave and Mike review series, and if you haven't, then please do check it out if you like your light-hearted video game reviews. We looked at both this and the Sega Master System version of the game. At the time, I didn't actually have this. I was running it off the EverDrive cartridge, but this is cool. It's fun. It's challenging, definitely in the later levels, but yeah, I quite like it. As a kid, I thought this was awesome. Picked up a classic, Hard Driving. So glad I've got my Mega Drive overclocked, because this game runs really, really badly at the normal 7 megahertz. So when you run it at 12, in my case, it runs nice and smooth, reasonably smooth, I should say. It's basically a polygon sort of pseudo 3D racing game, or driving game, I should say. It's probably not really a race, it's a driving game. So picked that up as well. Picked up a classic, Ghouls and Ghosts. This one is notorious for being really, really difficult. And I'm struggling to get past the first level. That's how bad I am at this game. So I like it though. It's difficult, but I like it. It's a challenge, and I will play this some more, and I will try and get further into it, for definite. Picked up Eternal Champions on the Sega Mega Drive. It's a beat 'em up. I actually picked this up when my friend Mike came to visit. Actually, we went to Game Scene over in Kingsmead, and I picked this up then. It's a fighting game. It's cool. It's not really as good as the Street Fighter series of games, but it's not bad. It's one I remember playing as a kid, and I quite enjoyed it. So yeah, bit of Eternal Champions. And lastly, Cannon Fodder. This game is awesome. It really is. It's just like a little shoot 'em up, a little war game. You move your characters, or you move your little squad of army men, and you just shoot and basically destroy the enemies and blow up their buildings with grenades. It's awesome. Played this on the Amiga A1200, and I had the PC version actually back in the day. That's how I originally played this. Okay, picked up The Tower for Sega Saturn. This game is completely sealed. It looked interesting on a YouTube video, and I saw it was brand new. It's never ever been opened. It's completely as it should be. The spine card is in the right place, totally in the right place. So this has never been opened, but at some point I'm going to open this and I'm going to give it a go. So it looks interesting anyway, like a tower building simulation, I think it is, something along those lines. Probably just a kind of a light version of SimCity to some degree, if any of you guys have played SimCity before. Continuing the Sega Saturn theme, a guy who's been working with me recently, he actually said to me, I've got this Sega Saturn arcade stick, and I offered at the same time to have a look at his PS3 because he's got some issues with it. And he said, yeah, you can have this in return for fixing or looking into, because I'm probably not going to be able to fix it, my my Sony PlayStation 3. So this is a Sega Saturn arcade stick, and I've used this with the Street Fighter collection and Virtua Fighter 2, and I've got to say it's pretty cool actually. It's a pretty nice arcade stick. It's an official Sega Saturn arcade stick. It's got some turbo switches up here as well, and the speed control of the turbo is there. And yeah, this is pretty awesome. So thanks to Kevin for that one, for letting me have it. Super Nintendo. Oh yes, Super Soccer. Check out Dave and Mike Reviews Striker, because there's a game that's very similar to this. And Mike actually mentioned Super Soccer, and that it's actually better than Striker. So when I saw this cheap in everyday games, I had to pick this up to see for myself and kind of give it a play. So I haven't played it yet, but I will, and I'll check it out. And NHLPA hockey, I've heard that some of the hockey games, like the EA hockey games, were better on the Super Nintendo, so I thought I'd check one of these out, because again, it was cheap. I've had a quick go on it. It's not bad, but the frame rate is abysmal. I'm not sure if EA had problems with programming their sports games for the Super Nintendo, but other than FIFA International Soccer, some of the other games I've played, the sports games, the frame rate has actually been really, really bad. N64. Gotta be done. Super Mario 64, this is an absolute classic. I think it was a launch game that came with the N64. In fact, both the games I'm going to show you that I've picked up are launch titles from the N64. So this is awesome. It's a 3D Mario game, an adventure game, platforming game as well. Thoroughly enjoyed this, playing this with a friend back in the day when he had his N64. So yeah, here it is, Mario 64. And also Pilot Wing 64, which I remember being hilarious fun. Basically, you know, it's you could call it a flight simulator, but it's more of an arcade game, and there's things like a Birdman suit, there's like a glider, there's a helicopter. I think it's like a helicopter that you pedal, and there's also a cannon where you can shoot one of the characters out of a cannon and hit a target, which I always thought was hilarious. For the Sony PlayStation, I picked up Constructor. This is kind of like a building simulator to some degree. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like as in-depth and as technical as SimCity, but it's not bad at all. It's fun. Remember a friend of mine having this back in the day, and it looks really good to play. Haven't had too much time to play it, but you know, it's one I'm definitely going to play in the future. And I'm just going to quickly show you all three of these, put them the right way around. I've got Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider 2, and Tomb Raider 3. Need I say more about these? These are all awesome action-adventure type games. So yeah, one of these, in fact, might be the first Tomb Raider game, will be coming up on a Dave and Mike Reviews video. So check that out. Keep your eyes out for that if you were interested in Tomb Raider. And also picked up Tekken 3, because this is one of the best Tekken games that was ever released, in my opinion. And I really enjoyed this. Borrowed this off a mate back in the day. Really enjoyed playing it. So yeah, Tekken 3, guys. An awesome beat-em-up. Okay, I picked up an Explorer cartridge, and this is the Explorer Professional. As you know, I've already got the FX that you can see, the good boxed version of it on my shelf there. Basically, this cheap cartridge comes with a little device called the X-Assist that you plug into the side of the Explorer, and you can navigate through the menus on this little thing to actually find your own cheat codes, which is kind of cool. It's not quite as good as rigging this up to a PC and using the parallel cable and using the software on the PC, but yeah, this is a really powerful, really, really good cheat cartridge, and the professional version is actually kind of rare as well, so it's nice to get this. Didn't cost me too much, so yeah. And of course, if you've been watching my videos recently, you'll know that I picked up a faulty NES, and I repaired it with a 72-pin connector, a Taiwanese part. This works perfectly now, so I can go back over to my game shelf and show you some of the other pickups. This was quite cheap as well because of the repair. yeah, I documented that in a video fairly recently. So I've got 5 or so NES games. I've got Turtles and I've got Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, which came with the NES, because the NES was an action set, which I forgot to say when I was showing you it. Basically, I've got the Zapper gun, which I can't use because I don't have a CRT TV, because it doesn't work with modern day plasmas and LCDs and LEDs. And I've got Turtles. These are actually specially made cases, custom cases that I bought off of a guy selling them on eBay. Quite impressed. I mean, they're basic cases, admittedly, but I like it. It's a nice way of displaying the games on my shelf. I've got a few more NES games as well in these, a couple of them in Nintendo, if you like, pouches. So I'll just get that one out. That's the classic Tetris that everybody's probably played at some point, be it on the NES, the Game Boy, or maybe even on the Super Nintendo as well, one of the variations of it. So don't really need to say too much about that, except for the fact that I had to repair the cartridge before I could even play it, which was a shame. Another case of an eBay ad and an eBay seller not being entirely honest. Basically, it was the circuit board wasn't sitting square and you could move it around. The bit of the plastic was damaged, so I had to go in there and kind of secure it, fix it up so that the cartridge won't move around and so that it's actually playable and that it works, which it does. So that's one of the games. Also got Excite Bike, which is a classic. It's a simplistic, fun sort of motocross racing game. Quite like this. You can also design your own courses. So yeah, that's another one that I may do in a future video, future gameplay video. And last but not least, Rad Racer, which is a cool, fun sort of arcadey racing game. And again, it's really enjoyable. It's fun, but it's difficult, very, very difficult. I'd say it's kind of an Outrun clone, because I think Outrun came first before this game did. But this game's pretty cool. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with Dave and Mike Reviews. We'll have another episode, and also maybe with some more gameplay videos myself. Thanks, guys.